Okay, good morning, everyone, and sorry for the late start, 10:02. Call the meeting to order. We've taken care of the safety protocol.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly go over. So we've listed up here who's going to take care of what. Remember, the blue light means you stay in the building.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and sorry for the late start, 10:02. Call the meeting to order. We've taken care of the safety protocol.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly go over. So we've listed up here who's going to take care of what. Remember, the blue light means you stay in the building, do not leave if it goes off. That's related to a potential accident over in the rail yard. We have special air handling units. White goes off, please exit through the front door. We reconvene on the other side of the parking lot. And lastly, the active shooter. This room is a secure room. So once I shut the door, it'll be secure. So we basically hide out here if there is an active shooter, or we try to exit if we can do that safely. And we would exit out that back door. Do not go into the courtyard, and we would exit and depart the property if possible. Remember, if somehow that wasn't sufficient, then do everything you can to take out the shooter. So with that, unless there's any questions, it's the safety.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Taking a roll call. Alameda? Here. Bart? Do I have Lauren Reiser on the phone from Bart? I don't think she's a commissioner. So.
Yes, I'm on the phone. I am not voting, I'm just listening.
Right, that's what I wanted to confirm. Okay, thank you. Biggs?
Here.
Gridley? Gridley looks like they're absent. Healdsburg?
Here.
Lodi?
Good morning.
Good morning. Lompoc?
Here.
Palo Alto?
Here.
Okay. Plumas?
Here.
Port of Oakland?
Here.
Reading?
Here.
Roseville?
Here.
Santa Clara? Shasta Lake is absent. Truckee Donner?
Here.
And Ukiah?
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum present. Thank you.
Okay, thank
I
you.
have one more person on the phone. Can you, can I ask who Ian Frazier is?
Morning. My name is Ian Frazier. I'm an assistant city attorney for the city of Reading.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
Ian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Okay, item 2, approval of the minutes of April 23rd. Entertain a motion in a second.
Santa Clara moves approval.
So have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Okay, taking a roll call for approval of the minutes. Alameda? Yes. Bart is absent. Biggs?
Yes.
Ridley is absent. Healdsburg?
Yes.
Lodi?
Yes.
Lompoc?
Yes.
Palo Alto?
Yes.
Port of Oakland?
Yes.
Reading?
Yes.
Roseville?
Yes.
Santa Clara?
Yes.
Shasta Lake is absent. Truckee Donner?
Yes.
Ukiah?
Aye.
And Plumas?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Public forum. Any member of the public who desires to address the commission on any item considered by the commission at this meeting before or during the commission's consideration of that item shall so advise the chair and shall thereupon be given the opportunity to do so. Any member of the public who desires to address the commission on any item within the jurisdiction of the commission and not listed on the agenda may do so at this time. Do we have any members of the public here or online that would like to speak on something not on the agenda? Hearing none on the room. Anybody online? Okay, none. Thank you. Reports and committee. General Manager.
Great. Good morning, everyone. I'll try to be brief here. Just a reminder, within your materials that are provided, we always provide the business progress report. And I don't know that you take a look at that, but within that, it just shows that for the last month, the system is operating well. The generating plants are doing well. We've had some outages kind of coming off those outages. Things are looking good in preparation for the summer. There is an expectation that the summer will be quite warm, but the system is in very good shape throughout California. And so we're expected to be able to meet most all needs, with the exception of maybe some extreme weather events or wildfires that could take out transmission. Since we last met, I did have the opportunity again to speak before Congress. I testified at the Energy Committee in the House on transmission planning and large loads. There's potential legislation being proposed by the Democrats to move a lot of the transmission planning and move the POUs under FERC jurisdiction for that purpose. One, we're just trying to keep our utilities out from FERC direct jurisdiction over some of our business activities. But also, we just don't think that's the best place to do transmission planning. Transmission planning to us should start from the resource loads upward, not from the top downward. And they believe this is a solution to meeting the needs of building a lot more transmission and serving large loads. But we just were able to share the reasons why we felt that it was better to continue to look at local level planning, regional planning, and maybe some larger interregional planning, but doing that from the bottom up. And we think that's still the best model overall. The other piece of that is they want to build a lot of transmission interregional and postage stamp the rates, meaning they want to socialize the rates regardless if you get a benefit of this new transmission being built, you could have a share of paying for it. So your ratepayers would have an added cost onto their bills for a transmission path that you might not have any benefit whatsoever. And we're trying to keep that from happening. The model that we prefer, obviously, is whoever benefits should pay for it. If it's needed to serve a large load, great. That community and that large load should pay for it. But that shouldn't be the burden of everybody else. So it was a good opportunity for us. And my third opportunity since January to testify before Congress. There's a lot of discussion going on in Sacramento on SB 254. That's that wildfire study that was done by the Earthquake Authority on how do we look at going forward to address both the wildfire insurance issues in the state and the lack of being able to get insurance or afford insurance to the liability of utilities. It's just not sustainable. The report clearly states it's not sustainable and provides some recommendations and options. So there's been a couple hearings on those topics. No consensus there, but those meetings were inundated by victims of wildfire and their legal counsels not wanting to change the current liability requirements of utilities and really trying to prevent us from putting some limits on that liability. Something's got to change. We know it's still got to change. So PG&E, Southern California Edison, and San Diego Gas and Electric have put some money in a fund and trying to push a particular path. They've asked the publicly owned utilities to join them in that and actually be the face of that. I'm not so sure that's the best idea based on at least what they want to do, but I do think together in the state, the utilities have to come together with an approach and try to push that agenda in Sacramento. So that's still going on. There have been some, when we were back in DC, we worked on the CVPIA completion, and the goal of this administration was to deem it complete, and that would save us about 50% of the cost of CVPIA for all of our members. We've hit some snags with that because a number of the water agencies in California do not want it to be deemed complete. They were partnered with us all along wanting it, but they have now recently been the recipients of some of that funding to help them meet some of their own regulatory obligations. And some of those obligations are state obligations, not just federal. And they're afraid that if that money dries up, that their ratepayers will still have to pay for their requirements under the regulations, but power will not be a contributor. We've had a number of meetings with them, and we're still hopeful that we can work something out and figure out a way to make that work. And lastly, I just wanted to share something that's in our business, our business progress report, and that is the Extended Transmission Exchange Agreement. That's that agreement that WAPA put in place with PG&E and allows us now to have a direct path of certain capacity that we get to utilize to come into the CalISO. And I think our share under the pool, Tony, is about 62 megawatts, something like that. Since last May through the end of April, our pool members have saved $12.2 million on transmission fees. So Santa Clara does their own, Roseville does their own, but the pool members have saved $12.2 million. So it's been an extreme benefit, and we're going to continue. They're changing some of the activity there going forward, but still we think the benefits are pretty significant, and we're glad folks are utilizing that benefit and taking advantage of it. With that, I'm going to stop. Outside of letting you know, my office is pretty clean, and I still have a few things to take care of, but I've been doing a really good job of cleaning it out.
Okay, any questions for Randy? Okay, thank you very much, Randy. Okay, the executive committee met this morning. A quorum was established. We received reports from the general manager and general counsel, and then we didn't finish business, so we're going to reconvene after the commission meeting. And that is my report. Any questions? Thank you. With that, facilities.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A brief update from the Facilities Committee. The committee did meet on May 6th to consider a number of items that are before you today. A quorum was not established, but those members in attendance did support items number 13 through 21 listed under consent today for your consideration, as well as item number 22 under discussion. Pending any questions the commission may have, that concludes my report.
Okay, any questions?
Great, thank you.
All righty, finance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Monty Hanks. The Finance Committee met on May 5th and reviewed several informational items with the committee members. This included an update on the financial markets provided by PFM. There was also a presentation from a representative of Chandler Asset Management. They recently established what's called the California Fixed Income Fund, or CalFIT, not to be confused with the old GEM. It's a local government investment pool that offers public agencies an additional option for diversifying short-term liquidity investments. It's an investment vehicle that the agency will continue to explore. Also, at the committee's request, NCPA's Treasurer Controller presented a comprehensive review of our Q1 Treasurer's Report. This included the portfolio's performance, its composition, its credit quality, and compliance with the investment policy and state code requirements. Staff also spent some time and provided an overview to the members on the key provisions of that recently enacted SB 827, which establishes required fiscal and financial training for board members as well as certain public agency staff. And lastly, staff introduced a forthcoming geothermal reimbursement resolution, and that's related to the Sprite project that was approved in the fiscal 27 budget. This resolution, as you may recall, is intended to preserve the ability to reimburse the GEO participants for eligible project expenditures from the proceeds of a future bond sale. It doesn't obligate the agency into a bond sale, but instead just preserves that option to recover it should the participants elect to do so. This resolution, we have our bond counsel drafting it now. They will send this, we'll send it over to the legal committee for review before returning it to the finance committee for recommendation, probably at the August meeting. And so this concludes my report. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for August 4th. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Legal?
Yes, the legal committee met on May 7th, and we discussed two of the items that are on the closed session agenda today, and so you guys will be hearing about them during closed session. I doubt you have any questions of something you're going to hear about in the future, but just in case. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Legislative and regulatory.
Thank you. Thank you to all who joined us for this year's NCPA NWPPA Federal Policy Conference. We had a record attendance this year and made some significant progress in advancing our key policy initiatives over 30 meetings in 2.5 days. We met with members of Congress, federal agency leaders, and key stakeholder organizations. Our conference program also provided the opportunity to engage in a productive policy dialogue with FERC Commissioner David Rossner, U.S. Department of Interior's Senior Advisor to the Assistant Secretary of Water and Power, Dustin Scherer, Katie Devlin of the White House Council on Environmental Quality, senior legislative staff members, and other distinguished policymakers and thought leaders. We had record attendance for this year's conference, and we appreciate all of your work and support on behalf of this important advocacy effort. Your voices make a real difference as ambassadors of public power in Washington, D.C., and we appreciate the work you do to advance our shared legislative and regulatory policy priorities. Shortly after our federal policy conference, NCPA testified on May 13th before the House Energy and Commerce Committee. The hearing was entitled Wires, Rates, and States Permitting Transmission for Reliable and Affordable Power. And Randy Howard testified on behalf of the Transmission Access Policy Study Group, TAPS, which NCPA chairs. Other witnesses on the panel included former FERC Chair Mark Christie, National Association of Regulatory Utility Commissioners Executive Director Tony Clark. In his testimony, Randy emphasized the importance of permitting reform to facilitate the development of new transmission and discussed how collaboration between public power systems and investor-owned utilities can improve transmission planning process and save costs for consumers. This marks the third time NCPA has testified before Congress on permitting reform in just this year alone. This helps to demonstrate NCPA's leadership and visibility on the key energy issues before Congress's session. On May 1st, NCPA co-sponsored a Stanford University Precourt School of Energy Symposium on Sustainable Data Centers. City of Palo Alto and NCPA Commissioner Vicki Vinkner helped lead the development of this conference that explored local alignment on land use and energy policies related to AI infrastructure. Speakers included Silicon Valley Power Utility Director Nico, former U.S. Secretary of Energy Stephen Chu, PG&E CEO Patty Poppe, Lori Mitchell of the City of San Jose, as well as Senator Josh Becker and Assemblymember Diane Pappin, among others. We were pleased to have the opportunity to support and engage in these important discussions around several emerging issues of importance to public power communities. NCPA's LNR team participated in 2 lobby days this month in support of policy initiatives related to hydrogen and geothermal resources. We joined Geothermal Rising's California Capital Day, where we focused on advancing policies to promote the operation and expansion of geothermal resources. We also joined the California Green Hydrogen Coalition in a series of advocacy meetings with state legislators to promote the definition of hydrogen as a renewable source and other initiatives that would spur the development of future hydrogen-powered resources. NCPA has set the dates and itinerary for this year's state federal staff tour. It will be held on July 20th through 22nd, and the group will visit Alameda, the Port of Oakland, the City of Healdsburg, and the Geysers. Several NCPA member representatives from across NCPA's footprint will be asked to join us to feature local utility initiatives and highlight our state and federal policy priorities. Please mark your calendars for the next meeting of the NCPA Legislative and Regulatory Affairs Committee, which will be held on August 26th. And I'm done. Any questions?
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you, sir. Member announcements and meeting reports from anybody? Seeing none. Moving on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are considered routine and will be approved without discussion by a single roll call vote. Any commissioner or member of the public may remove any item from the consent calendar. If an item is removed, it will be discussed separately following the approval of the remainder of the consent calendar. Prior to the roll call vote to approve the consent calendar, the commissioners will be polled to determine if any member wishes to abstain from one or more items on the consent calendar. So Carrie, do you want to see if anybody wants to pull anything or abstentions?
Okay, does anyone want to pull any items off of consent? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to ask if anybody would like to remove any or abstain from any items. So Amp, did you want to abstain from anything? Christina, did you want to abstain from any consent items? No? Okay. Bart is absent. Biggs?
No.
Gridley is absent. Healdsburg?
Nope.
Lodi?
Nope.
Lompoc?
No.
Palo Alto?
No.
Thank you. Port of Oakland?
Nope.
Reading?
No.
Roseville?
No.
Santa Clara?
No.
Shasta Lake is absent. Truckee Donner?
Nope.
Ukiah?
No.
And Plumas?
No.
Okay, that's the abstentions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So with that, I will entertain a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar.
Santa Clara moves approval.
Alameda seconds.
Okay, motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Okay, roll call on the consent calendar. Alameda?
Yes.
Bart is absent. Biggs?
Yes.
Ridley is absent. Healdsburg? Yes. Lodi?
Yes.
Lompoc?
Yes.
Palo Alto?
Yes.
Port of Oakland?
Yes.
Reading?
Yes.
Roseville?
Yes.
Santa Clara?
Yes.
Okay, Shasta Lake is absent. Truckee?
Yes.
Ukiah?
Aye.
And Plumas?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to discussion action items. Item 22, Amendment Resolution 2266. Jeremy?
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm Jeremy Lawson, Director of Engineering for Generation Services. I'll be covering for Michael DiBortoli for these two discussion items. The first one, the First Amendment to the new Spicer Meadow Spillway Maintenance Project. So the spillway itself is the new Spicer Meadows Dam. It's a 370-foot long. It ranges from 12 to 27 feet reinforced concrete structure. It's located to the in the shallow end, the saddle adjacent to the left abutment of the dam. The spillway itself allows for release of water to prevent the overtopping of the dam itself. The Department of Division of Safety and Dams and FERC and Part 12 consultants require the maintenance be performed on this spillway. And so in 2025, about 50% of this work was completed, and essentially it was a lot more difficult than anticipated. And then additionally, the site itself had some of the spallings along the horizontal joints of the surface. It's essentially a concrete surface between the cracks of the dam itself, which is normal maintenance. But it was expected to take about 3 months. Well, as the work progressed, more work was discovered, and additionally, FERC itself wanted to become more involved in the review, the maintenance of it, and so the plan was to split the work up and to start working on it in 2026. Next slide, please. So the overall maintenance work itself, the contractors hired aren't charging an incredible amount more. The original cost for the work itself was about $470,000. The new estimate is about $550,000. The additional engineering services has to do with in 2026 coming up, we will have FERC on site, and so we will have an engineer on site working through drawings, working through specs, ensuring the FERC itself is going to be completely satisfied. The project inspection, again, as the concrete is maintained, the testing of it will occur, and then contingency itself, we don't think there will be an additional issue. Originally it was 80,000, that's roughly 15%. We carry that over, 160,000 is roughly 15%. But then again, there is ongoing inflation. There's additional, if there's additional defects, if there's additional regulation from FERC being on site as we work through this maintenance. There's other items that might come up, and essentially the contingency is there to ensure as we work through it in 2026 that we're able to cover it and get the job done. So the first amendment to this project's maintenance services will increase by about $400,000. The total amount now is about $951,000. Funds for the project were included in the approved fiscal year 24 hydroelectric budget. Also, some of the excess in fiscal year 25 for the campground water tank painting project, and excess funds for the Colorville storm water mitigation projects. Those all came under budget, so we would be reallocating those funds to cover this budget. And then also for the fiscal year 26 hydroelectric budget. Next slide, please. And so these are just these itemize the specific categories that we're looking at to fund this project itself. It just comes down to some of the remaining budget amounts from doing better than expected, and then some of the contingency or encumbrances from last year's balance to cover this. Next slide, please. I guess maybe go back. Is there any questions at all before I move on to the kind of the standard language of environmental? And next slide, please. So environmental analysis. So these activities itself have already been subject to CEQA itself. The proposed activities of the New Spicer Meadow Spillway Maintenance are exempt from the provisions of California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to sections 15301BD Class 1, described in Title 14 of the California Code and Regulations as Section 15,000. This project consists of routine, recurring maintenance to existing equipment listed above. The project itself will not change in the function, size, or operation of the equipment. A notice of exemption was approved by NCPA Commission on October 24th in 2024 for this class of work, and was filed in Tulum County on January 22nd, 2025. Thus, this project conforms to these exemptions. Next slide, please. So the recommendation itself is to approve the First Amendment to Resolution 25-66 for the New Spicer Meadow Spillway Maintenance Project, increasing the total project not to exceed amount from $551,000 to $951,495, and delegating the authority to the general manager or his designee to award bids, execute agreements, and to issue purchase orders for the project in accordance with NCPA purchasing policy and procedures, without further approval by the Commission, for a total not to exceed amount of $951,000 to be funded from the combination of encumbered funds from the fiscal year 24 hydroelectric budget, excess funds from the fiscal year 25 New Spicer Meadow Campground Water Tank Painting Project, excessive funds from the fiscal year 26 Colorville Stormwater Mitigation Project, and finally the funds from the fiscal year 26 hydroelectric budget. And that concludes the recommendation.
Okay, any questions for Jeremy? Any online? Okay, no questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Santa Clara moves approval.
Rosso seconds.
Okay, motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Okay, taking a roll call vote on this item. Alameda,
Yes.
Okay, Bart is absent. Biggs?
Yes.
Ridley is absent. Healdsburg?
Yes.
Lodi?
Yes.
Lompoc?
Yes.
Palo Alto?
Yes.
Port of Oakland?
Yes.
Reading?
Abstain.
Roseville?
Yes.
Santa Clara?
Yes.
Shasta Lake is absent. Truckee Donner?
Abstain.
Ukiah?
Aye.
And Plumas?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 23, Jeremy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll wait for the presentation. Okay. So the second discussion item has to do with the tariffs. This is specifically for the Siemens Energy Incorporated. It's an amended and reinstated long-term maintenance program agreement change order number 4. This was approved by PPC earlier this week. So this change order itself addresses the higher United States tariffs on various parts Siemens imports from Europe, Germany. We are only agreeing to cover a certain amount of the tariff cost above the original 2.4% for the period of the hot gas path outage. So this is very, very specific time when NCPA needs parts from Siemens, and these new tariffs have increased. Basically, once this coming up outage in 2027 outage is complete, the change order ends. We don't cover the other potential tariff increases. So no change to the contract term to total not to exceed amount of the scope of work. Next slide, please. So why is this needed? So the background, again, these are critical gas turbine parts, and they're manufactured from Europe Union. When the original contract was signed, our long-term service agreement contract, there was a 2.4% tariff that was already in effect and built into the Siemens pricing. And so now the new U.S. tariffs have increased the rate on these parts. And so the change order itself compensates for only the additional cost above the original 2.4. There's references, these reference numbers, they're under the United States Harmonized Tariff Schedule. That's what they're pointing towards. Next slide, please. Specific parts, they're highly affected by the hot gas section of the turbine, the parts that wear and we replace, combustors, fuel nozzles, transitions, diaphragm, the seals. Again, these are the high value. These are the hot gas path parts that again we have negotiated with Siemens and the LTSA, the long-term service agreement. Next slide, please. So period 3, so 2027. So again, what are we covering? So this outage itself, the extra tariff fee for period 3 is the 3.1 million, which is what we are paying for. This is not the tariff. This is the actual piece of the parts that we are paying for. Values for periods 4, 5, and 6 have not been agreed. So again, just specifying that nothing outside of the 2027 outage is being approved. The fee will be calculated at the time of the outage milestones and adjusted for escalation. And these are all built into the contract. I think next slide will show that. So in the contract, the simple formula is these harmonized tariff index percentages minus the original 2.4% gives you a new harmonized tariff index. So basically, you look at the value of the parts, that 3.1 million, times this new harmonized tariff index gives you this new base tariff, and then there's the LTSA escalation fee, which was already in there. So for this example, for this period, 3.1 million times the 12.6. So today's tariffs are 15% on those parts minus the 2.4 that was in there. Gives you to 12.6. So we are agreeing to supply 390,000 to Siemens to cover the extra tariffs. The escalation factor itself is already defined in the contract, and again, this amount is only for period 3, 2027. Next slide, please. So the important protections for NCPA. So there's a couple items. So credit refund mechanism. So if Siemens receives tariff refunds, so if these tariffs come back and the government is rejected for charging them, if Siemens gets credit, we'll get it back. We'll get those funds back. Again, it only applies to period 3, and then overall, the impact on the overall contract or value or schedule is not being impacted by these changes. Are there any questions at all?
I think the one thing I would, oh, go ahead.
Question just for clarification. I mean, we're not committing to pay this tariff right now. We're basically saying that whatever the rate that is in effect in 2027, that's the authorization.
Correct. Yeah, so that slide, yeah. Thank you, Nico. So if that slide, it's a example. This is how it's being calculated. So.
And this would fall within the contingency for this project? There's no additional funding required for this. Is that correct? Or?
Right, yeah.
Because there's no ask for additional money.
Yeah.
Right, this went through PPC. I believe it is within the funding that's already approved for this larger outage. There's
I'll
a variety of
verify,
things
Nico,
happening
but
in that outage.
Yeah, it is. It's within the
Yeah.
budget.
Yeah. There are a couple key pieces to this that are really helpful. One, Mike felt very strongly that the escalation factor would eventually catch up to any long-term tariff commitment. And so he was really committed to make sure that we only paid the tariff uplift for this specific parts order. And Siemens wanted this to be a permanent change to the contract. We do not have that. We have this change order specifically dying after this particular upgrade occurs, the hot gas path. Jeremy's going to tell me on that. But anyway, and it doesn't apply to all the parts because this program parts agreement has some refurbished parts and some new parts. So it's about a third of the parts, I think. And that this applies to, and these would be the parts coming in from Europe. So the import tax, if the tax is eventually overturned, Siemens will refund that money back to us, whether or not they ever receive it. It was an interesting discussion with them that they may not seek refunds for political reasons, but they nonetheless would refund it back to us if it is a refund. So this was a reasonable negotiation with Siemens. There's a lot of things they wanted that we pushed back on and were able to achieve. And so, yes, none of us can control the on-off tariffs that we're dealing with, and we're all just trying to come up with some reasonable solution. And after a lot of discussion back and forth, Mike really felt that this was a reasonable way of treating all parties fairly. So that's how that kind of came about. So I don't know, Jeremy, if there's anything more.
No, you covered it. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly right. I mean, this is an LTSA that is out to 2040. We have a very long-term relationship with Siemens, and so this is hitting them across the entire gas fleet board. And so, obviously, we got a contract, and we want to stick to these prices. I mean, that's the whole point of these long-term contracts. But they're very concerned that it impacts themselves to do these costs, and so they're going out to other folks. This helps. We see that. We want to continue the long term. We want to continue the support that we get from Siemens for LAC. So again, for this instance, this instant tariff, we see it as an important thing to contribute and support ongoing forward. Right? This limits that. I mean, we will continue to. We'll see where it goes, but obviously we don't allow them to just open the checkbook to do future tariff changes. We're not allowing that to occur.
Sorry, one last question. I mean, I don't recall seeing this kind of request come before the commission before. I may have missed something, but, I mean, are we anticipating that we're going to get more of these as we go along?
You know, we're adjusting to it as we see it. I mean, we do have some flexibility in the earlier provision that allows us to adjust a bit that we passed last commission meeting. But this is the one that's been brought before us, and this one's big. And so because it's $390,000, and so it this had to go before PPC, because as you recall, PPC is the approving agency, but this is the execution of the agreement is what you guys are approving here. This is the biggest one that I've seen. I'm looking to Jeremy to see if he's seen others. I mean, RAF has had some smaller contractors ask for some relief because they've had some cost increases that they have to justify, but this is the biggest one we've had.
Some of those cost increases were more fuel-based, where we've had a lot of, fuel kind of things where they've come back and said, we can't do it for that amount of money any longer. So, but we did pass last commission, wasn't it? I think,
Yes, yes.
Where I have some
Yep.
authority to make some adjustments if they can justify really the difference.
Correct.
And I think we followed a number of you already have put stuff in place within your own utilities too.
Suds?
And finally, the budget question, I got an answer. So part of the, if you're the FX upgrade for next year, when we're increasing the efficiency, increasing the output of LAC, that's that funding, that budget, the contingency will cover this.
So just as an engineer, I just have to point out a typo.
Okay.
In the third line from the bottom, that's either 1.02 or 102%.
Thank you, Seds. Appreciate that. We will fix that. All right. Are there any other questions on this? Okay, thank you. Environmental analysis. So this activity would not result in a direct or reasonable, foreseeable, indirect change in the physical environment and is therefore not a project for the purposes of Section 21065, the California Environmental Quality Act. No environmental review is necessary. Okay, next slide, please. So the recommendation is to approve Resolution 26-52 for change order number 4 to the amended and restated long-term maintenance program agreement with Siemens Energy Incorporated for parts and various maintenance services for the Lodi Energy Center, incorporating harmonized tariff provisions into the agreement, applicable only to the period 3 hot gas path scheduled outage, with no changes to the current contract term or not to exceed amount, for continued use at NCPA's Lodi Energy Center. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Santa Clara moves approval.
Do I have a second? Okay, motion and a second. Roll call, please, Carrie.
Okay, roll call vote. Alameda?
Yes.
Bart is absent. Biggs?
Yes.
Gridley is absent. Healdsburg?
Yes.
Lodi?
Yes.
Lompoc?
Yes.
Palo Alto?
Abstain.
Port of Oakland?
Yes.
Reading?
Abstain.
Roseville?
Abstain.
Santa Clara?
Yes.
Shasta Lake is absent. Truckee Donner?
Abstain.
Ukiah?
Aye.
And Plumas?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 10:46 and time to move into closed session. You want to take us into closed session, Jane? Please?
Okay, guys, we are moving into closed session, so we're going to put signs on the door and start working on this. I would ask all of you in remote locations to please put signs on your door so we can move into closed session, and then Carrie and I will go over the list and just make sure that everybody who's on it is essential staff. So for anyone who doesn't remember, it is a commissioner plus 2 essential staff who can remain for closed session. So open session, does anybody in a remote location, I love this, if you're outside your office, you'll never know. Anyone in a remote location need additional time? Okay. So we are back in open session at 11:07. We have no reportable action from closed session. And Chair, I think that moves us into item 30.
Correct.
And we are looking at amending the commission calendar to add an executive committee and commission meeting on June 11th. The executive committee would go from 10 to 11, and the commission meeting would go from 11 to noon. I will note that this is on top of the UD meeting, which gives us the advantage of if your commissioner cannot make it, please designate your utility director or whoever's going to the UD meeting. And I will add that our plan is to put items 27, 28, and 29 on the agenda for the commission meeting on June 11th, Thursday, June 11th. So I would ask for anyone whose commissioner cannot attend to do what Carrie asked a lot of you guys to do, which is please designate someone as commissioner for the day so that they can be in the closed session, because this is a personnel discussion that's commissioner only, no essential staff, no alternates. So I apologize to those of you who did that for today and we're moving it to the 11th, but please be cognizant of that as we go forward. We will need a vote on adding, on changing the commission calendar to add these new dates. So if I could get a motion. Yeah.
I have a motion and a second for the new dates.
Santa Clara moves.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Okay, roll call vote. Alameda,
Yes.
okay, Bart is absent. Biggs,
Yes.
Ridley is absent. Healdsburg,
Yes.
Lodi,
Yes.
Lompoc,
Yes.
Palo Alto,
Yes.
Port of Oakland,
Yes.
Reading,
Yes.
Roseville,
Yes.
Santa Clara,
Yes.
Shasta Lake is absent. Truckee Downer,
Yes. And could you repeat the times on the 11th at the end, please?
sure. Ukiah,
Aye.
Plymouth Sierra.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes. So the new date for the executive committee is June 11th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then a commission meeting on the same date, June 11th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Can you send out calendar?
Yes, I will send out a calendar invite, and I will update the calendar and send that out as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So last item on the agenda before we adjourn is new business. And so if I could have the executive committee members join me up here, please. Been only waiting for 6 months to do this.
Sounds like we're waiting longer now.
Kinda.
Kinda?
Well. So, bye.
Bye.
So first and foremost, we got you a card.
Thank you.
Yep. And so with that, these are from all the 16 members. And staff helped us put everything together, so I'm very appreciative of their assistance. And I think we want you to open it so you know where our heart is coming from.
It's not our heart in the box.
No, it is not, but.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you sure I'm leaving?
We are.
All right. Somebody did a great job wrapping.
I would have to.
I don't know what this is. Audio and comms, Bluetooth enabled helmet speakers. I wonder if there's a theme here.
It's possible.
You can use that on your bike helmet and your ski helmet.
I'm sure. Speakers. You bet.
I'm just glad you're not trying to recycle the wrapping paper.
My mom does that. It takes forever at Christmas. So this says smart glasses. Are those ones that have like AI with it? And
You can ask it questions and it'll reach the answer.
yeah. Yeah, it tells me where I am on the mountain.
I'm sorry you've taken a wrong turn. Cliff area below.
There's even, yeah. I think it's going to give me the runs and the distance and the steepness.
And
Wow.
your grandkids in front of you.
I have to adjust them to put them on. Wow, those are amazing. Okay.
Now it's the puppy.
You know, we have been talking about another puppy.
Oh,
Surprise, surprise.
you were not going to do another dog, but look at this.
Well, you know, we want to travel, and you have a dog, right? It's hard to travel, but I have 2 kids nearby, and they both have dogs, so, you know, they should be able to watch our dog when we go away. Oh, this is great. A helmet. So, thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, and
Very generous.
can't thank you enough, and I'll ask each one of them to share something. Can't thank you enough for everything you've done, continue to do. You and Lisa have stuck through this to the end, and I'm grateful for that beyond my ability to express it. And this was something, like I say, from all the members to encourage you. I heard Mammoth yesterday to encourage your favorite thing to do. So,
And they're still skiing up there.
yeah.
It snowed this last couple days. We can still
Fresh
go up and do
tracks.
it. Thank you.
No, you're very
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you all.
Anything you guys would like to?
I just want to say thank you for welcoming me into the NCPA family and for clothing me.
Okay, another one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I've known you longer, I think, than most of you, and you brought NCPA to a highest level, and I think you made us all better of ourselves to do more for NCPA, and so I'm just pleased of what you've done, and you're just a nice guy, and your family, and it was just good knowing you as a person and as an executive of NCPA.
Thank you very much.
Randy, congratulations on the retirement, and I'm, won't be past tense seeing you because I'm sure I'll see you in Healdsburg.
Wow.
But aside from that, I mean, kind of to echo what they were saying, it's been a pleasure and a huge learning experience to watch you in action, whether it's locally, like here, the thought process on things, to going to DC and how how you navigate. I mean, talked about it before, like where something comes out of left field, being able to, all right, let's just transition over here and still move forward. So it's been a privilege to be able to watch that, and so thank you for that, and thank you for everything, all the time that you've put in at NCPA.
Thank you very much. First off, congratulations on your retirement. But thank you very much. You kind of become like the Zen master of managing this crazy world that we live in. We've seen it in the negotiations. You know, we've talked about exactly what David was saying, unanticipated things, and there's a calmness that you have in a way that you kind of move through all of us, and then you bring us all with you. And you brought us to really wonderful results for the agency. But in your time here, I think we can all talk about this is family, this place. I had a glitch in my family in February, and everybody jumped in when we were on the other side of the country. I was on an airplane 3 hours later, and everything got taken care of. And it wasn't by me, it was by staff, senior staff, everyone. You created that sense of family. We feel good bringing our kids, bringing grown kids, little kids, whatever, to events. It's always welcome. That is rare and very valued, I think, by all of us here. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Well, I'll just say thank you to all the commissioners, but to the others that are here too, some of your commissioners, some of the UDs, but just the amount of work that you put in and the commitment that you make to NCPA, because NCPA is yours, but really the amount of time you put in on all activities, not just kind of what you've been going through on the recruitment process. Sorry I had to put you all through that, but what you put in, whether it's our federal policy, our capital day, or lots of these activities, you've really committed a lot of your own time and really to the benefit of the agency. And so that's unusual. And again, I think we've been able to accomplish a lot of things. Obviously, there's still much more to do, but you've done a fabulous job. So I've appreciated being able to be here and support you. I think, as I told yesterday, we did a little staff thing here. I told them I really planned on staying 5 years, and now I'm going on 11 and a half. I'm going on 11 and a half because we've really been able to do a lot and enjoy it while we're doing it, and I think that's been incredible, really, to be able to do that. So thank you all. Thank you for, again, your commitment to CPA. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, can we get a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
I'm not going to put the glasses on. The helmet and the glasses. You know how you do that at Christmas? You say you got to put all that stuff on. Picture, you know?
Okay. Do you want to do the whole group? Everybody in here?
Up to the group.
No, they're all.
We got to know on that. All right, I think that's good. Thank you, Howard. Okay, so any other new business? Anybody else want to share a comment with Randy? One last chance? Going once.
Sounds like there could be another chance.
Twice? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.